So today I'm making a super healthy home cooked pizza. So this is my recipe book and there's a version of the pizza in there that you can also look at to make as well. What I'm going to do is cut up the pumpkin and cook it in a little bit of water, not too much. Then when it's cooked, I'll mash it and add some freshly ground millet for a little bit of extra protein and to help keep the base of the pizza together. After that, we'll blend up some eggs, just beat up the eggs and add the chickpea flour and the buckwheat flour, and then we'll have a lovely batter that we can build on to make the beautiful pizza. Slice the pumpkin into little squares so it's easy to cook. It doesn't take long to cook at all. So add half a teaspoon of sea salt and a tiny little bit of water. Probably a tablespoon is all we need. I'll just turn that on high and bring it to the boil, and there's not much water in there, as you can see. The pumpkin will put water out. If I need a little bit more, I can add it, but I basically want the water cooked into the pumpkin. So this should take about 10 minutes at the most. It's cooking really well. It's nearly soft and most of the water has gone away. But here's well, it's not really a trade secret, I'm sure a lot of you know about it, but if you want that pumpkin to cook a little bit quicker, you can just add a little bit of olive oil and it'll be cooked in no time. But do try and put the oil in at the end of cooking. So I'll just stir that through. That'll soon soften, and then can mash it and put in the millet. Pumpkin is cooked and lovely and soft, and just mash any leftover water into it. And that's lovely and smooth, and we can use that for the pizza base. Blend the millet finely. So we've mashed the pumpkin. Now just add the blended millet. Fold that through. I love the smell of millet, and with pumpkin it's just beautiful. Doesn't that look lovely as a pizza base? So we'll just put the lid back on now for the millet to soften in the pumpkin. Open the 3 eggs. Give them a beat. Mix the eggs into the cooked pumpkin and millet. Add the chickpea flour and the buckwheat flour and mix them to a batter. So this is the base of the pizza, so we'll just spread that onto some baking paper, and I'm finding that the green baking paper, which is brown paper, is so much better for baking than the other baking paper. So we'll just spread that around. When you're baking things, you'll often find that they don't cook as well in the middle. So I always make sure that the middle is probably a little bit less in thickness than the outside of the dough. I've got a fan forced oven, and I'm going to cook this in the bottom of the oven so that it'll cook on both sides. About 160 degrees is good, and this will probably take about half an hour. And that'll give you time to chop up the veggies and have a cup of tea. So this pizza base has been in the oven for 40 minutes. Now I've cooked it on the bottom of my fan forced oven, and I'm happy with the bottom that is cooked as well. So now what we can do is layer it up and get the pizza ready for dinner. Just spread the ciabatta paste over the warm base, and then we can pop it back in the oven again and make a lovely crisp salad to go with the pizza. And you can freeze this, and it keeps well. Beautiful for school lunches, picnics. I've frozen it for my son for his work. So at this stage, if you wanted, you could add some chili flakes onto the pizza base. It just depends on, you know, who's coming to dinner and who's going to be eating. So the base is gluten-free. It's got good protein with the eggs, the chickpea flour and the buckwheat flour. No yeast. Some people can't have yeast. The next thing we'll do to layer up the pizza. Now I've got the lovely marjoram from our organic garden. So I'm just going to spread marjoram, but you might want to do basil or a herb of your choice that is dried up. And we'll just sprinkle that there. I think marjoram goes beautifully with tomato. And of course marjoram is one of those lovely herbs, that gives you minerals. So it's lovely that we can use fresh ingredients to get more nutrition from them. And you can be quite generous with the marjoram. The next thing we'll put on is the mushrooms. So here we have the little guys. Now I just put them on the edge like that, and then I go round. I decided to make the pizza today, because it's been so long since we've had one, and a friend was thinking that that would be a nice thing to do. And also too, because capsicums were on special. They've been really expensive lately, and when I saw them on special, I thought, well, I've got plenty of onions, I've got eggs, I'm good to go, let's make a pizza. I usually do add a lot of vegetables. I think that's enough onion. Now I may need more capsicum. I normally pile up the veg. So I've got 2 lovely fresh capsicums on the pizza, so don't skimp on the vegetables. They'll cook down, and the capsicums are lovely and sweet and so good for you. Into the oven now. Just cook on 150 degrees or thereabouts, depending on your oven, until the vegetables are nicely cooked. So the pizza smells delicious. That's been cooking in total about an hour. I'm just going to put some cheese on, so you can either have the low fat or the tasty. I think I'll do a bit of both. Just sprinkle that. I'll just put that back in the oven, and that should be about another 10 minutes while I make the salad, and then we're good to go. This pizza is beautiful cold. Absolutely lovely cold, and it's a lovely thick pizza as well, stacked up with vegetables and wonderful nutrition. So there we are, gluten-free, oven-cooked pizza, lots of vegetables, some fresh herbs in there. So the pizza's beautifully cooked and it's ready to go.